So we talked about NAT instances and we talked about NAT gateways. Let's go ahead and compare them and see kind of how they differ. So for starters, with NAT instances, you need to use a script in order to manage the failover between instances. I referred you to a document in the earlier slide that shows you kind of how to do that if you're interested in getting more information on how to configure that. Well, guess what? With a NAT gateway, because it's a platform service, it's highly available. There's a gateway in each availability zone, and it's implemented with redundancy. So you don't have to do anything manually. Again, here the platform, AWS in this case, is offering all of the high availability to you. From a bandwidth perspective, from a performance perspective, the NAT is going to depend on the instance type. If you get a beefier instance that has maybe enhanced networking, more bandwidth, it's going to perform better. It's going to be able to give you the levels that you're expecting. With a NAT gateway, you can burst up to 10 gigabits per second. So again, here, you don't have to worry about changing family or instance types. You don't have to worry about scaling it up or figuring out, what kind of instance will support the amount of traffic that you have. Again, they're taking all of that homework out of what you need to do regarding maintenance of that NAT instance. Again, from a management perspective, the NAT instance is managed by you, which means there is a server out there that you're configuring as a NAT. You still are responsible for the software updates, the operating system patches. You're still responsible for troubleshooting it, etc. With a NAT gateway, it's completely managed by AWS. And again, just to drive the point home here, the NAT instance is a generic Amazon Linux AMI that's configured to perform NAT functions, whereas this is a software that's optimized specifically to handle NAT traffic. So again, this is kind of how they differ. With a NAT instance, port forwarding is supported. It's a manual process. You have to configure it. With a NAT gateway, port forwarding is not supported, again, as of this recording. You can use a Bastion server with a NAT instance, whatever server that you have in the DMZ, that is supported. With a NAT gateway, a Bastion server is not supported. You can use and view CloudWatch alarms with NAT instances, whereas with NAT gateways, again, traffic metrics are not supported at this time. So this is, again, how they compare. From a cost perspective, it'll really depend on the usage patterns and the amount of traffic that you're going to drive through the NAT gateway and through the NAT instance. And again, you've got the instance price there. You've got a whole slew of things going on. But again, from a cost perspective, it really is going to depend, and you'll have to run the math if cost is the primary driver. However, one of the things that I want to make sure I'm driving home after you're seeing those side by side is don't take cost as the only driver behind this. Because again, you have to associate a certain fee with managing this particular instance, whether it's software updates, operating system configurations, troubleshooting, management, scaling, high availability. All of that has to come with a cost as well. So compare that when you're comparing side by side from a cost perspective.